Hi there, it's Lisa here. I have a slightly different project today which I'm going to be sharing with you. I have these Kaisercraft mini drawers which I'm going to be assembling, or at least attempting to assemble, and making all pretty. At the moment they are cardboard and plywood. I think is that called plywood? Chipboard it says here. Chipboard, feels like plywood. Drawers. They're very mini. They are assembled size 151 by 146 by 60 mil. So they're quite diddy, but they're very cute, and I'm going to be putting them together and, like I said, making them pretty. I'm not going to put them together on camera as I am really useless at things like that and will probably make a complete fool of myself. But I will try and put them together and come back to you and transform them. Right, even for me this was really easy. I thought I would show you before I start decorating. They literally went together within a sake of a minute, 2 minutes. It's obviously you'd need to put some glue on it to hold it in place well, but I want to decorate it before I do actually stick it all together, because obviously it makes life much easier. But I just thought I'd show you how easy that was. And as for the little drawers, they come out like this. They will obviously need some tape on them, and then I can decorate them before they go in. So I am now going to take it apart and start painting. Then it can dry nicely before I start the decorating with the paper. I've just started going over with some white acrylic paint, just some thin layers so it dries nicely. I'm going to leave it to dry and then do another layer. And most of this will obviously be covered up with pretty paper anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect or particularly even, but it just gives it a nice base. I'm going to continue and do the rest of them and give them another coat as well. I've painted all my sides, as you can see. They're not perfectly painted. I will be covering up quite a lot of that. Now I'm going to start working on the little drawers. I've got some patterned paper here which I am going to cut to size, and I'm going to secure the sides here with some tape and literally just cut out. I will show you that in just a second. I've taken this piece of pink paisley paper which has come in my Cocoa Daisy kit this month. I will leave a link below for you to see. I am going to draw around the top here to get the size of what I want to cut out. I basically want 9 different patterns. So I'm going to choose the 9 that I would like. But let's have a look. Let's start with this turquoise. When I cut them, I'm going to use the sides like that. I do want them to be slightly smaller than the actual piece because I want to see the paint around the outside. There we go. And that will be down like that. Let's have a pink as well. I'm using the sides to use up as much of the paper as possible. Quite like the yellow, that would be a nice one. And I'm just going to go around and do that for all 9 and do the sides as well. So I'm now assembling the little drawers. I've done one here already and it's very easy. You just put them together. I'm using some clear tape to go around them. I will be sticking paper. You can see the tape on the front there, even though I've painted it, but I am going to be sticking paper over the top, so I don't have to worry about that so much. But I just wanted the paint to finish off the sides, so although the drawer will look pretty from the front, I want it to be attractive when it's pulled out as well. Otherwise it will look a bit dull if it's just this grey board showing through. So just nice and quickly putting the clear tape on to hold all the sides together. And then I'm just going to go over with a regular acrylic paint. I've decided to do it all in teal. If anyone knows me well, they know that this is my favorite color, and I just tend to pick everything in teal. So let's just go over. Doesn't have to be perfect. And oh, that looks good. I don't tend to paint too thickly, otherwise it just takes so long to dry. Let's go over again. There we go. And I'm going to continue on and do the other 7. So I have my 9 little drawers all nicely painted. I'm now going to start gluing on the patterned paper onto the front. I've just got some regular PVA glue that I'm popping on the back, and I'm going to stick each one on the front. It's not meant to be perfect. I quite like the rustic look, and that's that. And then I'm going to glue the next one. I haven't decided which order they're going in yet. I'm just going to stick them on and decide when it's all together. That's it. That shouldn't take too long to dry once they're all on there. I really like the wooden kits from Kaisercraft. They're quite handy. They do quite a lot of products, even letters. They do larger drawer kits, they do trays, all kinds of things. And I've used the Kaisercraft paint to paint these in as well. I really like the paint tubes. Okay. Any pencil lines, obviously, you can rub out. I've tended to, although I drew around, I did actually cut within the pencil lines, because I wanted the pattern paper to be slightly smaller, because I wanted to see that colour of the paint around the outside. I wanted that to be part of the design, so there wasn't any pencil lines showing here. So I'm just going to continue with these. So all my little boxes now have these cute little pieces of paper on, and I've also been covering the sides and the top here, as you can see. I am now going to assemble the wooden kit, and I'm also going to use a little bit of glue from my glue gun just to make sure it all stays together. As if you remember from the beginning, it was quite wobbly. It does need something extra just to hold it together. So I'm going to go off and glue that now. I just want to show you where I'm at now with the drawer set. I've assembled it together. I must say, once I'd actually painted the sides, it did stick together a lot better. I have still added some hot glue with my hot glue gun in places, but you can see a little bit there actually. I'll have to go around and trim, but it did stick together much better once I had the paint in place. As you can see, it looks quite messy. I'm not going for a perfect finish. I do want a rustic finish, but obviously this doesn't look rustic. This looks unfinished. So I am going to now spend some time going around and painting the edges. I will be giving it a wash over in teal. Some bits of glue there so I can trim those off, and I will be covering the sides a little bit too, but right now I'm just going to give it a good going over with some more white acrylic paint. If I now paint this over in the teal, if any of the wood chip is showing through, it's going to look darker. I do want it to have a white base as I put it together. One thing I just wanted to say, actually, when I was gluing the pieces together, do be careful that you are gluing the right pieces together. At one stage I did have one of the sides, or one of the piece of the base on the side. Thankfully it hadn't stuck, so do double check before you start sticking it in place. I'm just going to continue with this and just tidy it up a little bit now. So my drawers are now all painted white. I now want to blend in a little bit of white onto the mini drawers. I've taken some white acrylic paint just on the end of a wet wipe that's reasonably dry, and I'm just going to run it around the outside just to almost give it a little bit of a distressed washed look. There we go. So I can still see the teal, but it's just being faded in with a little bit of white. Just go around the outside a little. Not very tidy, quite messy. There we go. Almost like when you see some wood that's been washed down with some white paint. I'm going to continue with the rest of these. So all my drawers are done, and now I'm going to do the same with the wet wipe and go over with some of the teal paint that I used before. I'm not using loads, just a little bit, just to wash over around the outside. Kind of want to do something with those wooden bits there. I might add something later, a little bit on the edge, just to take off that bright white. It's just a little bit of a wash. I like the way how it's darker in some places than others. That adds to the look. So I'm just going over, there's the tiniest little bit on the wet wipe. I'm just going around the outside just to finish it off. There we go. Both ways, so it's not just one way. And I like how some of it's peeling off a little bit. There we go. And that's very sticky now, so I'm going to go and wash my hands and let that dry. Okay, so I've got everything painted now, and I have decided to stick some buttons on the front of the drawers just to finish it off. I had some buttons that came with my Cocoa Daisy kit this month, so I'm going to use them. I'm going to finish up the buttons with the thread. It matches the colours of the drawer, and I think it just adds a nice contrast. So I'm going to sew on each button the thread. This is obviously just to look pretty, nothing else. Then to secure the thread, I don't want it coming loose, I'm just going to add a little bit of tape and then trim around the outside, and to stick the button to the drawer I'm going to use my heat gun again, just a tiny bit on the back of each one. We'll stick it in place nicely. First of all, I want to make sure there's no tape or thread showing around the outside though, so I just want to trim that all off neatly, otherwise it's just going to look really untidy. So I'm left with a button like that, and I will stick that on the front with the glue gun in a moment. I'll finish them all off first with the sewing. So I've secured all my little buttons in place, and now I'm going to put them together. I had worked it all out before where I wanted them all to go, and now I can't remember, so I will jiggle them around a little bit until I'm happy. I think this is quite cute actually, it's worked out really well. I'm really happy with the colours too. Let's pop, should we have a pink one there? Trying to work out with the buttons as well. Oh, we don't want two reds together. Let's see how that works. That one kind of needs to go in the middle, doesn't it? That one needs to come over here. Let's swap that one for that one. I think we're nearly there, and you can use it as like a little desk tidy in some ways, can't you? You can pop your paper clips in there, you can pop your spare staples in there, little elastic bands, you can pop bits in for your planners. I think this is a really cute little drawer set. They actually with the buttons, they pull out much easier than I expected. So I am pleased with that. I think that's a nice kit. I would highly recommend, and it's really easy to use, and it's really fun to transform as well. I've made the back pretty as well. So yes, I am very pleased with this. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed watching me get a little bit messy. I've been cleaning up as I've been going along, but it is an apron job, and but it's really therapeutic and lots of fun. Thank you for joining me. Bye.